We good? We rolling? All right. Welcome to Lunch with Lawrence, episode 14. Episode 14, featuring my guy, Steve Stubbs in the building. They used to call him Fresh, but my man's going by Steve these days. How you feeling, bro? How are you?
I'm all right. What's going on, man?
Man, I'm blessed, man. I had a eventful weekend this past weekend, man. I went to the fight last night, so I'm kind of recuperating from that. All types of stuff, man. How was your weekend?
I kind of was laid back.
Listen.
I was laid back. Did a little bit of work.
Yeah.
Just took some time to myself, relax.
Most definitely. As you know, man, the show is about just showcasing how dope Cleveland is, man. Like, there's so many dope people in the city that have different businesses in the entrepreneurship realm. And of course, you and I, we met a few years back through a mutual friend. I feel like I met you through Mike Mathis.
Yep.
Okay, so through Mike Mathis.
Yeah.
Shout out to my guy Mike Mathis, man.
Shout out to Mike.
He has a mentorship program that he does where he has high school students, male and female, and then he brings in mentors to be mentors to mentees, and he brings in different entrepreneurs to kind of help them see different stuff. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Mike, man. But that's how Steve and I connected some years back, man, and we've been growing ever since. But Steve, you are the owner of Fresh Ink Tattoos. You're a tattoo artist, right?
Yes, sir.
That's dope, man. Before we get into the tattoo piece, man, I want to know, like, what was your first business venture? What was your first hustle? Do you remember?
Selling candy in school.
Selling candy in school? That's like everybody.
Honestly, that was my first hustle. You know, the caramel suckers and you know what I'm saying, packs of annihilators and stuff like that.
You know, that's so funny, man. So I had K Nice on last week, man. And he said the exact same thing. Like, I remember candy and like people used to bootleg CDs. Everybody was doing it, right?
Yeah.
But what was it for you? Like, how did you just want to get to selling candy? It was
honestly, I was a kid that didn't grow up with much, so. Okay. I always was trying to figure out a way to be able to get, you know what I'm saying, new shoes, stuff like that. Like, I had one pair of shoes and like 25 pairs of shoestrings to match all my outfits and stuff like that. So
that's the same thing.
So you know, I just tried to figure out ways to make money. That's
what's up, man. So fast forward, man, to candy, man, from being a kid to becoming an adult, man. Did you, you know, like out of high school or during high school, did you pick up a job, you started working?
Yeah.
Because I want you to kind of tell me like your journey before you got into becoming a tattoo artist, and I want to know, and I know it's a lot of questions, but I also want to know your first tattoo. But like, where were you? Okay, when did you get your first tattoo?
I got my first tattoo at 19.
Okay.
It was my initial. It was a S. It was, I can't remember the font of it, but it's right here on my bicep.
Okay.
I got it at Finest Lines, honestly. When I first got it, I thought it was the best thing in the world. When I look at it today, like, why in the hell did I do this? But no, that was my first tattoo.
Yeah.
Starting out, honestly, I did my first tattoo at 14 years old.
You did your first tattoo at 14. Okay, so how did you? What made you want to what made you get into tattoos then?
Honestly, a lot of my friends growing up always told me I should be doing tattoos. When I was 14, I was in my mom's bathroom. Old friend of mine, he actually lived in California. He reminded me of this because I completely forgot. And just the needle, thread, some Indian ink, wrapped the thread around the needle, and literally just poking his arm. I did a Bugs Bunny on him, and it actually still looked good. He recently came and got it covered up from me. He stays, like I said, he stays out in California, but he came home, got some work done. We probably tattooed with each other for about a week.
So hold on. So let me rewind. Let me rewind now. So I mean, were you growing up? Were you just an artist? Like, did you like to draw a lot and draw characters?
I used to drive my mother crazy. I've been drawing all of my life. My mother used to get angry with me because I used to draw comic book characters and all kind of stuff all over my walls, like just my whole room. Like, my mother made.
I'm about to say, why would she get angry? But I can see, you drawing on the walls. Then, yeah.
I mean, but after a while, she actually started noticing what I was doing and the quality of it, and she started to allow it. But then I started acting up, so she was like, you know what, you can't think. Made me paint my walls white and all that, but I got to go back to doing it once I got my act together. But I've been an artist my whole life.
So that's where it stemmed from,
pretty much.
What was it that sparked that in you? Like, when you were younger? Did you just picked up one day in class in school, just picked up some paper and some crayons, or do you remember what made you want to be an artist? And that,
I can't really say.
Okay.
My mother said that she noticed that I had an artistic ability at 3 years old.
Okay.
I can never really pinpoint a moment where I actually knew, like, hey, I'm a real artist. I just knew I had an artistic ability of looking at images and putting it on paper. I started drawing on rocks, cardboard, whatever I could get my hands on back in the day.
So then going to 14, you gave your first tattoo to somebody when you was 14 years old.
In my mom's bathroom.
In your mother's bathroom.
Stayed in Rockside Towers.
What was that conversation like? Where did you get the stuff to even do it? Like, what equipment was it? See, so that's the thing. I have no tattoos.
Right.
Never gotten one. I'm literally, it's funny because I remember thinking I was always going to get one. And as I got older, and now I'm being 37 years old, I just feel like, you know what, that time for my life passed. I don't know what significance I would get, other than probably like my children's name or date of birth, or I don't know. But for me, I never did it. But so you're 14, about to give somebody your first tattoo, like in your mom's basement, your mom's bathroom. What did you say you used again to do it?
A needle, thread, some Indian ink.
Needle, thread, some Indian ink.
We bought all that stuff at Joanne Fabrics.
So how did you? So like, did who helped you? Like, did you? It was your cousin, you said?
No, it was just an old friend of mine. Old friend of mine, yeah.
How did you know? How did you know what to buy? Like, how did you know? You know what I'm saying? I'm just curious. This is new to me.
Back then, a lot of people were doing tattoos like that.
And so you saw somebody.
It was something I kind of just caught wind of.
Okay.
And, I tried it out, sterilized and stuff, and we just tried it out.
All right, so you did it, and then what was his reaction?
It actually came out really good for what it was back then. As of now, of course, like I said, we covered it, but back then, 14 years old, it looked just like Bugs Bunny. It was a good turnout, but compared to the equipment that I use now, of course,
we're gonna get into that. We're gonna definitely get into that. But all right, so I like to just know the timeline. I'm really big on like following the timeline to see how people get to where they are now, right?
Right.
So here you go. Here you are, 14. Gave your first tattoo at 14. We're in high school, right? Or middle school? 15,
ninth grade.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So fast forward after that. When did you give your second tattoo?
I didn't.
You didn't?
No.
Okay.
That was something that kind of just was something that got done because he wanted a tattoo. I stayed drawing for a while. As I became an adult coming out of high school, I was still in my artistic abilities. But when I graduated, I got into party life, started kicking it, hanging out. Was really big into fashion and stuff like that. So I kind of actually put the pencil and pen down.
Got it.
I stopped drawing, honestly, for probably about 11 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right. So let's stop there. So then, high school. You started working? Like, where did you work? The jobs that you had.
Next, Finish Line, K Jewelers.
So you was fashion and jewelry. I can see it. I can see it now. That trend follows you all the way to your adulthood. Okay. I see the wrist. I see the wrist wearing the chain on, but no.
You got a nice one too.
That's you, bro. So you started working those jobs. I can see that. I can see why people called you fresh.
Well, thank you. I'll take that as a compliment.
I can see people call you fresh. You know what I'm saying? And so it was 11 years until you decided to just get back into artistry.
Yeah.
Tattoos.
With that, honestly, I didn't pick up a pencil until I found out my son was conceived. That was in 2012.
And then from there, it was like...
Yeah, I tried picking up a pencil. It was a bit of a struggle for me. I had, for whatever reason, like an artist block.
How old were you at the time?
29.
29, okay.
Yeah. Okay. When I had my son, I was 30. Oh, I'm sorry, I was turning 30.
Yep.
My son's birthday was March 7th. Okay. So once I had my son, for whatever reason, everything just came clear.
Yeah.
I knew what I wanted to do. I was still working a job at the time, so I was kind of like 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Yeah.
I bought me a tattoo machine. It kind of sat and collected dust for like 3 months. One day I just got the gumption and pulled it out, started tattooing on fruit. Once I got comfortable with doing lines and stuff like that on fruit. I went to my own legs. Went from there to my best friend Daryl. He let me do my first body tattoo.
Huh. So have you tattooed yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've wrote all over my legs.
Yeah. And one question I did have is like, do you know how many tattoos you personally have? Or you have on you?
My youngest sister used to keep count, and when she stopped keeping count, I picked it back up. I want to say about 184, if I'm not mistaken.
184 tattoos? Wow.
I actually make that 185 because I just got a tattoo on my back a couple days ago.
Okay. All right, so 185. So you got your son, you're 30, and you're saying that you went ahead now and gave your first tattoo again to somebody.
Yeah, my best friend.
Your best friend. All right, and then from there it's just kind of like.
Yeah, it was no stopping me from there. I just wanted to do tattoos. I couldn't wait to get off work. I was working at this steel factory out in Twinsburg.
Okay.
I was grinding anywhere from 1,000 to 11,000 pounds worth of steel a day. And it was tiresome. My hand, I felt like I was getting ready to catch carpal tunnel. I couldn't wait. That job might have been one of the best things that ever happened to me because it taught me a lesson.
What's that?
I was on time every day. Was never late to lunch, I should say, or anything like that. Never had any infractions, never had any problems with any of the other workers or anything like that. My 89th day, they fired me. Supposed to get hired in on my 90th. They told me that it just wasn't working out. I just looked at him, shook his hand, said thank you. At that point, I knew I was never going to get a job again.
That was your last job you ever worked?
That was the last job I ever worked.
And after that, you just was like, look, I'm about to make this happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was all she wrote from there.
Yeah. So now they let you go. You know, you started the tattoos, but then like, what was that period of getting more clientele?
That's funny. One day, I just out of the blue just posted I was doing tattoos.
Yeah.
I was already pretty popular for other things, playing basketball, fashion, certain places I work, like I said, Next, Finish Line, K Jewelers. I was already pretty known for those things, as well as, like I said, playing basketball and other little stuff. Like I used to do small promotions and stuff like that with nightclubs and stuff downtown back in early 2000s. So I had a decent name in that manner, but nobody had really known me outside of my friends and relatives and maybe a couple outside figures that I've known.
Yeah.
They never really knew that I was an artist.
Yeah.
So one day I just popped out and said I was doing tattoos.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much it from there.
Yeah.
What I did was, like I said, I was giving a bunch of tattoos away for little to nothing. I had sales every week. I just wanted to build clientele. I just knew that at this point, this was my niche, and I had to run it the best way that I could in order to build up. And like I said, building up, honestly, some of the work that I look at that I did and the prices that I gave it away at, I almost think I was crazy at some point. But it worked out. It worked out for me in the end because, like I said, when you first start a business, people need to know your name.
Yeah.
Whether they're familiar with you, they're familiar with you in other ways. So when you're starting something different, and I'm dealing with, you know what I'm saying, the body, skin, potential health risks, things that matter, people need to understand that I'm serious about that. So I was willing to give the work away for little to nothing just to have the understanding. I was literally working, give or take, 10 to 16 hours every day.
Yeah.
Just to make it happen.
Because I mean, and I wonder, like, what was that when you had lost that job? Like, that was your only income.
Yeah.
You know, and so now you had to focus on, like, I gotta make this shit pop, basically, with the tattoos to generate the income to start covering your living expenses, right?
Yes, I did.
About how long did it take for you to start making a comfortable living doing tattoos?
About 2.5 years. It took me about a 2.5 year period for people to be familiar with me. It's one thing to do a good tattoo or a decent tattoo based on my quality of work at that time period, but people need consistency in order to feel trustworthy in my field of work. If I'm not consistent with my work, it makes you leery about people wanting to come back to you.
Yeah.
So the consistency and the drive for me to want to be better is pretty much where I kind of stood at with that.
Where was that? Like, what did that look like as far as like, where were you? When you started doing tattoos? Where you know, at this time when you lost a job, you got back into it for those 2.5 years? Like, where were you getting tattoos at? Were you working in somebody's tattoo parlor?
No, I've never worked in a shop.
You never worked in a shop?
No, I actually started in a small apartment on Noble.
Okay.
I stayed in a small apartment on Bluestone on Noble.
Yeah.
Basically, I took my living room space. I had a small little tattoo chair.
Yep.
It was a really small setup. And that's where I worked at for, I want to say about a good 2.5 years.
Yeah.
I moved from there. I found not an apartment, but a house that I had rented out in Euclid.
Yep.
And the basement was getting redone before I moved in. And I had him turn the whole basement basically into a tattoo studio for me.
Wow.
And like when people came in, like I would do a lot of live videos and stuff like that, just so people could get familiar with me.
Yeah.
And like people thought it was an actual tattoo shop that I worked in, and it was actually just my basement.
That's smart, man. That's smart. So to become a tattoo artist, you don't have to like go to school, get some type of certifications or anything like that.
Well, in the state of Ohio, there is no formal licensing for any separate tattoo artist. It's just deemed that the tattoo shop has a license for the shop, and everybody that's in the shop is basically up under your name.
Okay.
So yeah. There's no like I said, there's no formal license, but you do have to have your bloodborne pathogens and CPR.
Okay, so those are like the certificates that you get to take those classes or whatever. One of the things that I like that's dope that I saw on your page that you do is the cover-ups. I kind of want you to go into like your first cover-up and what you experienced. Like, for example, like you have to have, you have to be very like mature, understanding of people's privacy.
Right.
Because I've seen like you recently had done like a woman's breast. Right. She may have had like type of breast cancer or surgery or reduction.
Breast augmentation.
Breast augmentation. So like there's scars there.
Right.
And you have to go in and tattoo whatever she wants to cover up her scars.
Right.
Or anybody's certain body part where they may feel uncomfortable about certain things. So as a professional, like, one, I just commend you. I think that's dope. And to anybody that's a tattoo artist, because I look at it like it takes somebody to be serious and super professional to allow somebody to be comfortable to allow you to do those type of things. So how often do you do like cover-ups and stuff like that?
I probably do about I want to say give or take maybe 3 or 4 a week.
Wow. Yeah. You're busy, man, because I remember talking to you and you told me like your calendar is like booked out like months in advance.
Yeah. As of right now, I'm rolling into November right now.
Wow.
I'm probably like 3 appointments into November right now.
Wow.
So, I stay pretty busy. I've been working 7 days a week for almost 2 years now.
Wow.
This month, actually, I'm just now taking Sundays off.
Okay.
So, and I'm actually still keeping Sundays open.
Just in case.
As a convenience for certain tattoos. Like if it's something that's really, really good and it fits my taste in what I'm trying to do or what I want to do, or if it's just unique enough, I'll take a client on that Sunday. Of course, there's a convenience that comes along with that, but if it's just that good, I'll book it for that Sunday.
So how random number, like like how many people do you think you have tattooed since you started? Do you even keep track? It's just
honestly, I do well over 1,000 tattoos a year.
1,000 tattoos a year.
Yeah. So
Wow.
I'm 8 years in the business, so you do the math. So give or take, honestly, if I would say, that doesn't cost over 1,000 tattoos isn't 1,000 people.
Right.
So I've just done over 1,000 tattoos a year.
Yeah, because it could be multiple tattoos on one person.
Right.
Yeah. So tattoo artists easily, if you're quality and your type of clientele, it's easily a six figure business, you would say.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. So now you're at a place now. Do you have a brick and mortar?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Okay, and are you like a new one or a current one? Or are you about to get a new space, or like where are you at?
No, it's on 2586 Noble Road.
2586 Noble Road.
Yep.
Now, is that a space you've been? Are you going somewhere new, or are you doing renovations in that one?
The renovations are done.
Okay.
I have one last thing I need to do in there. BJ and Octavia, you know I'm waiting on you. But, yeah, aside from that, I'm just getting my floors getting a clear epoxy coat laid back over it, and I'm good to go from
I don't know
there.
if you ever read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. Not that one, but the Cash Flow Quadrants.
That
right?
one I haven't read.
Okay, so the Cash Flow Quadrants, he has 4 quadrants, right?
Okay.
So you got the E quadrant, which is people who are employees.
Right.
You got the S quadrant for people who are self-employed, right? You got the ES. I think it's like B for business owner and I for investor. I read the book many years ago, so don't quote me on that. But I know for sure it's the S, the E, the S, and the I, right? So like for you being a tattoo artist, which is your passion, you are giving tattoos almost 7 days a week, multiple people, you know. Now you got the shop, right?
Right.
Is the shop gonna have other artists in it?
Of course.
Of course. So this is like a build up to it, right? So now, how does that look? You don't have to share any numbers, but are the other tattoo artists, is it almost like a barbershop where it's like just booth rent? Like they're gonna be paying you booth rent?
Yeah.
Okay. So do you see yourself owning multiple tattoo locations, or this is like, something you just want to?
It's definitely a consideration.
Consideration.
It's definitely a consideration. I've done some, but if I do, it's not going to be in Cleveland. The next one wouldn't be in Cleveland.
Next one wouldn't be in Cleveland. We're gonna get into the Cleveland. I was actually the Cleveland question towards the end of the show. But so like how long do you see yourself being? I mean, you're still young. You know what I'm saying? You still got it. Like, the money is obviously great, and it's a passion of yours. So this is something that you could see yourself doing for a very long time, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't give this up for anything in the world. Honestly, I enjoy it. Aside from my son, this is my peace.
Okay.
I get lost in my work. That's the best way to explain it. When I'm working, once I get started, nothing else really matters at that point.
Man, I think that's so dope, man, because like you are the definition of somebody who's passionate about what you do. And the thing is, like, when you're passionate about something, the money's gonna follow.
And that's really what it is. That's really everything.
Because some people get into businesses for the wrong reasons. Like some people, they see, I can make this kind of money, so they're doing it for the money, but they're not really passionate about it. It never doesn't work out.
Yeah.
And so you're just building that clientele, man. I just think it's dope, man. I never, like I said, I don't know any tattoo artists other than you, and I never had a conversation with any. So kind of I get excited when I with some new, because I like to just kind of see like how your story and how you get to where you are now, man, because you're like killing it. You know what I'm saying? You're killing it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I mean, if I could say this, in confidence that I ever decided to get my first tattoo. If I ever decide to get my first tattoo, I'm gonna come see you, bro.
I'm gonna be around. I'll be around.
So yeah, man. So now you about to get into the place. Your brick and mortar, your space. How many people will it be able to fit? How many other tattoo artists can you bring in?
I'm doing 3.
Okay.
So I'm real big on keeping things close knit. I want to keep the quality as good as you can. Mm-hmm. When you start to venture out and have a lot of tattoo artists, it's kind of hard to keep the quality where you want it to be. Yep. And not to say, don't get me misled. You can't control a person's quality, right? But I like to keep like-minded people around me, as well as even in just the quality of work. Okay. So I figure if I can keep it close-knit, then everybody's going to always do it. I don't want one person making more money than everybody else.
I see. Well, I mean, that's you.
I mean, well, that's because I'm the owner. But aside from that, I want everybody to be able to make good money and not feel inferior to anybody else. Yeah, that's my whole thing.
I get that, but also I think that's just what you have to put out. That's just that person has to put their name out there.
Oh, indefinitely.
To do that.
Oh, indefinitely.
I mean, because I look at like barbers. Like I don't, a barber owner could have 10 barbers in there. Somebody's not going to be making as much other because they have to get their clientele.
Of course. Now, what I will say is that as the shop owner, I don't want to just take one and just any Joe Schmo and just throw him in there and just expect him to get it on.
Yeah.
If you're not passionate,
Yep.
if you're not energetic,
Yep.
if you're not serious about the craft of tattooist,
Yeah.
I don't want you.
Yep.
I only want serious people around me because serious people make other serious people more serious about what they got going on, and you push each other to do better all the time. But if you really kind of just in it for the fun or the connections that come along with it, the networks that you can meet in the midst of it, you won't last.
Yeah, that's real. That's real. So you got the spot on Noble. You're gonna have tattoo artists generating more income. What other have you thought about any other business ventures to get into? Because it's like you have all this income coming in, but then what do you do with it? You know what I'm saying? Do you invest it, or do you get into any other But you are investing into your shop.
Right.
So you do the renovation, you put money into the shop, you're expanding. But that's why I guess I asked would you have another location? But then if you have multiple locations, then obviously you're working out of one, so you have to trust the people in the other one to run it the same way because it's your brand, it's your name. But what is there anything new, anything different that you get into that you want to talk about? Or you keep it private?
I got one thing that I am going to keep private. It's already in the moves, but I'm going to keep that one. I'm going to keep that one on lock.
Everybody that's been on the show got something that they don't want to share. And I understand.
Yeah. I'm going to keep that one on lock, but I do have an aftercare cream that I'm in the process of working on right now.
Smart.
With a close friend of mine. He actually he does a lot of skincare products and stuff like that he naturally hand makes. So we're right now in the midst of making a skin aftercare. Excuse me, I'm sorry. A skin aftercare.
After you get your tattoo.
Ointment for your tattoo. Yeah.
That's like a no. That's smart. That's like a no-brainer.
I'm seeing a lot of people are doing what is it? The numbing creams and things that matter. I prefer to do the aftercare because me personally, I don't believe that I can guarantee that everyone's body function will take a numbing cream the same as the next person. But everybody's aftercare, for the most part, I can do the same.
That's what's up, man. Outside of the business stuff, man, a little bit of personal questions, man. I see you got the old school out there today, man. What is that joint, man? I've never owned an old school before. My barber, shout out to Tone, he telling me, man, you gotta get your old school. I'm like, man, what I'm gonna do with it, man?
Ain't nothing like it, man. It's just an enjoyable time. That's another one of my releases. I got a 73 El Camino.
73 El Camino? Yeah. How long have you had that joint?
Almost 2 years.
Okay. Did you have an old school before that one, or was that your first one?
No, I had an 83 98, but that was some years ago.
Okay. I feel like old schools are definitely like that Midwest Cleveland, back in the day, cats is downtown opening the doors with the speakers and the TVs coming out the trunk and all that stuff.
It's just something to enjoy. It's a toy. It's something, you know what I'm saying? It's a piece, it's a way of enjoying the fruits of your labor. Yeah. I go hop on a freeway and I'll go bend every freeway, and that's another way I clear my mind. I'll bend every freeway. I hop on 271, take 271 to 480, 480 to 77. To 90, hit back to 271. Come on home.
So, all right, man. So, couple more questions, man. So, I got Steve in the house, man. Tattoo artist, killing the game in Cleveland. My man's working 6 to 7 days a week. You got your son, who's probably about 10, 11?
No. He's 8 right now.
He's 8. Okay, 8. My bad. I ain't trying to put that age on you. My bad.
You all right? Yeah, I was about to say you making me feel old already, man.
my oldest is 12, man. I got 12, 6, and 5, man. But you just got the one, right?
Yeah,
one.
So,
single, right, bro?
Yeah.
So how do you find time to even date, man? Are you dating, or are you just so focused on your craft where it's like I don't even have to,
I work for myself, so I can make time for whatever.
You make time for what you want to make time
for. It's just one of those situations where you're looking for the right person. I mean, I've had enough. I've done enough hanging out, having fun, playing. Yeah. It gets boring after a while. Yeah. I mean, I'm in a place now where I would like to be able to come home to somebody every day. Okay. But my thing is also with that is that my son is very important to me, and dating me is also dating my son. So,
That's real.
in order for me to teach him certain aspects of being a man, I need a solid woman around me.
Yep.
And how she loves me innately teaches him how he's supposed to be loved by a woman. And in turn, the way that I love her shows him how a man is supposed to treat a woman. Yeah. So I will not just date anybody.
Yeah. Yep. And so that brings me to like this question here. I always ask my guests that are single, because I try to keep it around the business. Does it matter if it's like a woman who's also entrepreneur, or it doesn't really, like, do you have a preference? Yeah.
I don't really have a preference, but I noticed that women who are entrepreneurs understand me a little better.
Yep.
Than one who works a 9 to 5. Nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5 or anything like that, but we kind of understand each other a lot better.
Yeah.
Because my job is one that's 24 hours. As much as I try to control it, people message me at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Most women who work a 9 to 5 don't want to hear that.
Yeah. And I think it would take a woman that is also, well, it would take a man for you to show a woman, like, trust factor.
Right.
Because you're also seeing women.
Right.
You're tattooing women. You're tattooing, women getting lower back and all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'll be honest, man, because people need to hear this type of stuff. Like, if as a man going into the tattoo industry, once you become that guy that's like people want to see, you're gonna highly refer. Women are gonna want tattoos in between their thighs, on their butt, on their breasts, and you have to be mature enough. If you have a girlfriend, your girlfriend or your wife or your spouse or your fiance has to have that confidence in you to understand, like, this is what my man's doing, and he's gonna have women that he has to see on a regular basis getting certain parts tattooed to their body. Oh, yeah. And that you're not going, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. I mean, in your field, that's a lot. Some men couldn't handle that. You know what I'm saying? That's real. That's just being real.
It's easy, though. I mean, it's easy.
That's what you professional.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that when you take the personal out of the business, it makes it a lot easier for you to just know that it's work.
Yeah.
If you play the personal in your mind, you'll always kind of stay stuck in that area where you probably will mess up, or you'll not mess up doing a tattoo, but do something that you're not supposed to, say something, possibly inappropriately, or, touch somebody inappropriately, you know what I'm saying, in a joking manner, things like that. I'm not going to sit here and act like that stuff doesn't happen in the tattoo world, but for me, I prefer to keep it professional. Yeah, it's easiest that way, and I don't like burning my bridges with my money. So,
facts. If a young guy, age 14, 15, was to come to you and say, "Hey, man, I really want to get into this tattoo industry," what word of advice would you give them regarding them getting into the tattoo industry?
Honestly, I can apply this to a lot of different types of jobs. Just not even just tattooing. Yeah. Do the work. That's the best thing I could ever tell you. If you want to know something, do the research, do the work, do the training. Because pretty much anything that you want to do, for the most part, aside from certain jobs like architecture, anything in the medical field or anything like that, law enforcement, you can pretty much go online and teach yourself. So if you want to learn tattooing and the craft of it and go far in it, you have to do the work, put in the hours, put in the time, do the research, buy the proper equipment. You have to invest in yourself. Like you said earlier, you have to invest in yourself. If you don't invest in yourself with tattooing, you're not going to go far. You'll pretty much stay stagnant for a long time, and that's not a good place to be, because the evolution of tattooing is always changing. New machines, new quality, new styles. It's just always something that's going to change. So
that's real. That's real. A couple more questions, man. You said machines. So what is what them tattoo machines be hitting for, man? Like a good one.
I mean, you can get a quality machine, handmade, anywhere from $300 to $2,000. It just depends.
That's not bad.
No.
Yeah.
But as a tattoo artist, most tattoo artists like to have probably about a good 5, maybe 10 machines under their belt for different things. Like some maybe for portraits, some maybe for color packing, some maybe for lining, a large liner. You have a intermediate liner. You might have a combo machine that does lining and shading. You have a small liner. So depending on what you're doing or what type of work you're doing, you want to have different machines for different styles of work.
You have all these different machines? Or?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I hope so, because I see your work, man. So it makes sense. Because that's another thing. Like, I didn't know. So what type of investment would a tattoo artist be looking at if they want to get their foot in the door, and they're good at artistry. They're good at. I know it's a lot of different types of tattoos you just mentioned, right?
Right.
But like just some basic tattoos. And I don't even know what to call basics. I don't know. But like, what would be what would be a decent startup cost for somebody to start doing tattoos out of the basement? The machines. Like, what machines would you recommend for somebody to get started?
Well, being where I'm at now, I would tell people formally, don't start in the basement.
Gotcha.
If you can, get you an apprenticeship with a good quality artist.
Okay.
He'll lead you in all the proper directions. But as far as a good startup cost, it's a lot of small things. You got inks, paper towels, razors, saran wrap, Saniderm if you like to use that over saran wrap, markers, ink pens, carbon paper, possibly carbon ink if you have a carbon printer, tattoo machines, your needles, rubber bands, ink caps, storage, gloves. You need plenty of those. Just as a startup, the list can go on and on and on. Lighting, chairs, a good startup cost just to get started. Let's say we're doing small logos and names. Honestly, I would probably say somewhere between $1,000 to $2,500.
Okay,
that's just starting. Just starting.
Yeah.
To get a decent quality machine. Saying maybe like a black ink and maybe a red ink. A decent chair. I mean, honestly, it could be potentially less, but I want to say probably somewhere between $1,000 to $2,500. It just really depends on what it is that you're looking at.
Okay.
Like when I started, I wanted to try to get the best stuff that I could.
Yep.
So
I
was willing to spend extra money to do so. But I would say probably like $1,000 to $2,500 will be a good startup cost.
That makes sense, man. I want to know, like, do you, is there like a competition thing when it comes to tattoo artists? There's really no, like, you're kind of in your own lane. Other people in their own lane.
I kind of keep to myself.
Yeah.
Easily. I mean, now from a business standpoint, you can always say, it's competition. Mm-hmm. Me personally, I try not to think about other artists.
Yeah.
I just do my work.
Yeah.
I make alliances with other artists that I can. For the ones that I can't, that's okay. I just do my work. I try not to concern myself with anyone else, because when you concern yourself with other artists, you can't focus on your own.
Yeah. So how do you feel about the city of Cleveland, man, as far as just being an entrepreneur, man? Do you see yourself being here? I mean, you got the shop, you said if you were to open up another shop, it wouldn't be in Cleveland.
That's just because as a tattoo artist, I know the amounts of money that can be made in other areas. I love my city. Some days it can be a bit of a headache here. But I wouldn't have it any other way. Honestly, I know we hear it all the time. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. I do believe that, but I don't see myself per se leaving. And if I did, my shop's still going to stay here. I love it here. I'm grounded here. My son's here. My first business is here. I couldn't see myself just snatching my business up and hightailing and going somewhere else. Now, like I said, expanding it somewhere else, yes, of course, but just leaving now.
Would you ever consider doing courses or classes, or have you ever done that? Like, let's just say it's a group of guys that are very interested and they want to come and sit at a session, or they want to, as long as your client feels comfortable, would you ever charge people to teach them the business or teach them how to do certain tattoos? Like, have you ever thought about doing something like that?
I have. I get a lot of younger guys and younger ladies that want to learn the business. They'll contact me, but I need to believe that they're serious. What I do is intellectual property. No one can just pick this up and do it. Yeah. So for that, yes, I will charge a fee. When you understand the amounts of money, when you take this serious, the amounts of money that you can make, you're gonna charge for it.
Yeah, no, most definitely. I mean, because like with me, even in my real estate business, and you see stuff like this all the time. Like people that have businesses, they start becoming coaches and they're training people. You know what I'm saying? So like even with my property management business, I have people who hit me up quite often who like want to learn the business. For me, it's really trying to find time to do it. You know, to actually sit down with people and show them the business, or, you know, what am I going to charge them? Charge them $1,000 or whatever, because you got to think about it. You've been in this industry for so long. You've been through the ups and downs, the mistakes, all that stuff, and then it's just to drop it off and give somebody that for free. It's like, you know, you're going to, you know, in my 15 years of this business, that's what I'm charging. I'm charging you off of 15 years of experience. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, like, yeah, I was just curious, like, because I've never seen it. I've never seen it. I never seen somebody host a tattoo workshop or a class.
Not so much workshops.
People could come in and pay you money to teach them.
Oh no, there's some people out here. There's some people in Cleveland that are doing it.
Okay. I'm just not here.
Would I? Yes. Right now, no. Reason being is that, like I said, my schedule was really hectic. It's a good thing. It's a good problem to have. I will say that. But I would have to literally block out time ahead of time to kind of like schedule and format that to make sure that I can take them on along with my work schedule as well as my personal schedule. Okay. So that's something that I can't just, well, obviously anybody has to plan that, but as of right now, with the way my work is going, I don't want to teach anybody right now. I feel you. I'm enjoying where I'm at right now. Now going forward, maybe next year, I can see that being possible. Yeah. Right now, I'm just enjoying the ride. Okay. So baby steps. Okay.
All right. And one more time, man, where do people find you? Where are you located? What's your Instagram?
All right, you catch me on Instagram, Fresh Weirdo Tattoos. My shop is down on 2568 Noble Road. If you want to give me a direct contact, telephone number is 216-331-8887. Hit me up. We make some magic.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I got my chef coming in. She should be here any minute. Jamie Smith. She holds me down, man. She has been like chefing most of my shows, man. Okay. So we definitely gonna have lunch. Okay. Like I know you're sitting here. I'm like, you gonna eat. We about to eat. We gonna eat. We gonna talk off camera, man. And that's it, man. Episode 14 is in the books, man. I appreciate you coming over.
I appreciate you having me, man. I'm honored. Thank you.
Yes, sir.